Hey guys, Coach Adam here. I want to talk through how to properly brace with or without a belt. Okay, so this is a prereq that if you don't quite know how to do this yet, the belt's not doing anything for you. Okay, now if you do know how to do this, the belt probably helps quite a bit. But a couple of things with prereqs. One, you can be a great athlete, make incredible gains, get super strong, and for the rest of your life, never lift with a belt and probably be just fine. Okay, now, oftentimes on the other end of the spectrum, belts get used too early, too often, and for wrong reasons. So too early, if you haven't put in years and learned how to really contract and dial in and connect with all the different muscles in your body during ranges of motion, you shouldn't be using a belt yet because it's not going to help. Okay, you need to figure out how to do that first part, then maybe consider using a belt down the road. As well, belts are not there to keep you from getting hurt. Okay, now that's often how they get used, is kind of like a lifting security blanket. You got every opportunity to get hurt with or without a belt, so it doesn't save you from automatically getting hurt. And probably last one is this. Belts do not stop you from rounding your back. Okay, you got 26 or more vertebrae. That's 26 or more opportunities to bend your spine whenever you want, and belts can't stop you from doing that. Vertebrae can move when they want to and where they want to. So all that to say, if you are currently using a belt, I would definitely watch this video, or you are interested in knowing if you're using it correctly or thinking about using one, I would dial in and watch because this will probably be very, very helpful. So biggest thing we need to talk about is bracing. If you know how to brace, a belt can actually help. If you don't know how to brace, belts do nothing, okay? So let me talk about bracing. I'm gonna set my phone here. Okay, when I mean bracing, I mean literally 360 degrees around you is braced, meaning I'm pushing all of those muscles out to the ends of my body, okay? So my front core right here, okay, my anterior abs, they're literally gonna push out, okay? If I push in on my belly and I brace my abs correctly, watch what happens. Everybody see how my fist moved away? The same thing should happen right here. If I brace correctly, I literally push my hands wider. If I put my hands on the small of my back and I brace correctly, 360 degrees around me should literally be pushing out into my shirt, okay? That is proper bracing, okay? Done with proper breathing and good muscle strength. Bracing is ultimately what you want to lock in place during a lift, like a heavy squat, a heavy deadlift, a heavy press, so that my abs don't move, okay? It's like becoming a brick. There's not much rigid bone structure through here. It's a lot of organs and soft tissue. Bracing is locking them into position so they don't move, okay? If you're doing that correctly, where the belt comes into play is it gives you two things. One, feedback on whether or not you're bracing correctly, because the belt should feel like all of a sudden it got tighter since you're pushing 360 degrees of muscles into the belt. And then second thing, and this is probably not as big of a deal as people think, is that it does create a little bit more intramuscular tension. Meaning, if I'm actively pushing against the belt and the belt starts pushing it back to me, that torque that gets created between those two objects, you and the belt, does give you a little bit more tension throughout your body, which in theory can help you lift just a little bit heavier, okay? But it can't stop you from rounding your back, okay? It can't fix crappy form. It's not gonna magically make your life better. All it's there to do is give you feedback and a little bit of an advantage if you are properly bracing, okay? I wanna show you kind of a cool visual that I think is really, really helpful to understand bracing. So if you put your hands like all around your abs, and you take a breath in nice and deep down into the belly, and then I push all of that air out 360 degrees. I should feel tension where it literally feels like the front, sides, and back of my core muscles all expanded and pushed, okay? A great visual to keep in mind is this. Be a full pop can, not an empty pop can, okay? So what I mean by that is, I'm gonna show you right here, I have, okay, 2 Ghost energy drinks, okay? One of them has not been opened, one of them is fully empty. This empty one is gonna go right here on the right. This full one is gonna go on the left, okay? If I brace correctly, meaning I've created pressure from the middle outward, like a pop can does. It can hold a crazy amount of weight, okay? Now, even if I pinch on this can and I try and squeeze it really tight, that's not moving. So even if it's not perfect, when I'm pinching in, it's not perfect pressure, but it's still allowing it to hold 45 pounds, which is significantly more weight than what the can weighs. Okay, now watch this. If let me get this out of the way. This is the empty can, okay? Kind of see it, hear it. Now, if I'm upright, I'm doing fine, okay? This can hold the weight. But watch what happens. If I lose anything on that brace where it starts to pinch in, literally crushes the pop can. And I didn't hurt my hand on that one. So think of that visual. What's that telling us? When there's proper bracing and you're pushing all those muscles outward, the belt can really help. A, it gives you feedback that you're doing it. B, it creates a little bit more tension through the core by being able to have something to push against. But on the flip side, the empty pop can, as long as it doesn't lose its brace, it's okay. But the moment it starts to lose a little bit of tension, meaning maybe your abs start to roll a little bit, maybe your obliques start to turn off, maybe your back muscles start to get softer, during that lift, the moment you lose that tension, if there's no bracing right there, it gets crushed, okay? Which in a lift usually means your back starts to round, you lose all your air, your form goes to crap. But if your brace is good and nothing's changing and it's staying strong during the entirety of the range of motion on the lift, that's where bracing does its thing, okay? So for belts, should everyone use one? No, definitely not. But if you put in some years with lifting, you're getting to where you're starting to lift heavier weights and you want a little bit more feedback and or tension through the core, by all means, I think belts can be a great opportunity as long as bracing is known and understood and what it's actually doing. Belts cannot stop you from rounding back. They aren't gonna fix your form, okay? And they don't magically make everything better. They can't stop you from getting hurt. But if you do know how to properly brace, belts can be an awesome tool. So let me know if you got questions, but I hope that you found this video helpful. Appreciate you guys being the best gym on the planet.